is Chris Smith, and I have the distinct honor of standing on my tiptoes so I can see you all in the front rows. If my calves cramp, somebody come to my rescue. But welcome to the white coat ceremony for the third cohort of the Accelerated Bachelor of Science nursing students at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. We are so honored to have you all and pleased to see you all. This is the first time we have had a cohort enter in the summer. So as you can see, probably by the ease of finding a parking space on campus, the fall and spring semesters are not nearly as empty as these are. But that does not change the importance of honoring these students who are joining us in the School of Nursing for a very rigorous yet rewarding program of study. The purpose of the white coat ceremony today is to recognize the students' transition into the Bachelor of Science in Nursing program here at UTC. And it's an opportunity really for us to welcome you all into the School of Nursing and giving you your lab coat, which is a symbol of professionalism in nursing. And I'd like to acknowledge, although they're not here, several people who are very instrumental in our program, one of which who is Dr. Steve Angle, our Chancellor, and Provost Gerald Hale, who is the Provost Academic Vice President, so to speak, of the campus, and then, of course, Dr. Valerie Rutledge, who is our Dean. When we went to them with this crazy idea to add an accelerated program, there was never any pushback. There was never any, are you crazy? There was never any, how are we going to fund this? It was all 100%, let's charge ahead and do this, because there are students out there who would like to pursue a degree at an accelerated rate, and we all know that the hospitals and facilities, not only in Chattanooga and Tennessee, but across the country, can use more nurses. So they all have been very, very supportive, and we are greatly appreciative of them. But more importantly, I want to take just a minute and I want to recognize the faculty who are here today, because those individuals are the most important people that you all will deal with for the next 12 months. We recognize your family and your spouse, significant other, partner, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, grandparents are all very, very important, because they're the emotional support. And you all are going to need to rely on those individuals for those times when it may be hard and you're thinking about, is this really worth it? Those people are important. But these people up here who are your faculty, who you will be very closely aligned with for the next 12 months, are the ones who are going to help you achieve and become registered nurses. So faculty, please stand and let us honor you. You all are in for a treat today, because we have Caitlin Lee Nash, who is getting ready to graduate from the accelerated program in just a very few weeks. She has the lived experience, as we say, Dr. Owsley in phenomenology, the lived experience of what you all are experiencing and will experience. And she's with us. She puts a sentence together quite well. She's not, she's still functioning. So I think we've done an okay job with Caitlin. But she's going to share with you her thoughts about the journey that she is finishing and what you all are about to embark on. So Caitlin, please come forward.
I don't need the box, so I'm going to just get my stuff situated. All right. Thank you, Dr. Smith. I want to say good evening. Again, my name is Caitlin Nash, and I'm a part of the first ABSN program that is going through and finishing up here in a few weeks. I want to start by congratulating you all for being here. I recognize that it takes a lot of work to get into a nursing program, much less an accelerated nursing program, meaning that you've already done a lot before you even did the prereqs. And especially those who weren't straight out of college, kind of had a windier path than others. It took a lot of boldness to say you want to go back to school and to say you want to change your career or do something different, so I applaud you for that. And those who are going straight through, that's also really awesome. And exciting that you chose the path of nursing. It's a really rewarding career, and there's so many different paths you can take. So I want to say congratulations on this milestone that you have here today. And next, I wanted to just mention to not compare yourselves to others' paths, as we kind of can say that there are two different types of students probably in this program. Those who did something after college or initial degree and some who didn't. Don't compare yourself to others. Some are going to have more experience in the field already, and some, you're not going to have any. And that's okay. You all have your own path. I don't want y'all to spend so much time comparing, they have so much experience and I don't have any. You're all going to have your own path. You're all going to have your ways to learn. And so I want to encourage you to kind of keep your blinders on in that regard. Keep running, and you're going to end up where you need to be. But comparing yourself doesn't get you anywhere faster. If anything, just lean on those who do have experience and glean the wisdom that they have and go from there. That being said, I have 3 quick pieces of advice that I think hopefully maybe they've been given to you, maybe they haven't. But there's 3 pieces of advice that I have in this program. The first is really take the culture of your group really sacred. You're going to spend, like Dr. Smith said, you're going to spend so much time with each other, right? And with that, you're going to really have an impact on each other's emotional and mental well-being. And so I really want to encourage you that I know you all come from different places, different stories, all kinds of backgrounds. But I really encourage you each to get to know one another, have genuine curious interest in how you became how you are, where you got your interest from, and where, your background and how you see the world. Really be genuinely interested in each other. And I encourage you to lift each other up. You're going to have times, life doesn't stop just because you have 4 tests in 1 week and 3 projects and 2 clinical days. Life doesn't stop. We know that, right? But you're going to have each other to lift each other up. So if there might be a bad day, somebody can say, hey, I'll help you get these notes. You're going to have to sit here as well. But if you're not fully present, maybe I can help you learn the material better later, right? For us, I often talk about how I talk about my classmates as my teammates, and I don't mean to say that, but often I'm like, oh yeah, my teammate, and I'm like, my cohort mate, I'm sorry. It's just my sports background. It literally feels like a team. I equate it to like a track team. Like you train together, right? You learn the material together. You're going to, probably have a lot of tears and hard times together, whatever that looks like. Each person copes differently. But you're going to have to compete on your own, and that's tests, that's clinicals, that's checkoffs, things like that. But ultimately, how well you all do together is going to make a difference in the end. So I encourage you, the culture is sacred. Make sure that you really work on the internal relationships within this group. Of course, you can do it on your own, but it's much more rewarding to do it together. So I really encourage you all to recognize that that's really, really important. That's the first thing. The second thing is, as Christmas said, the parking. Enjoy being able to drive up 5 minutes before class. This has been so much fun. And so really enjoy that this summer, because in the future, make sure you get to class at least 30 minutes to an hour early for parking when school starts. Don't be stressed out like me on the first day, driving around like a banshee trying to find a spot. So just a quick tidbit, just make sure you get here early on the first day and kind of figure out the patterns of parking. That will save you a lot of stress. The third point I have before I close is this, is that you're entering into a profession. Some of you have had professions before and you're going to be like, well, duh. And some of you might think I'm becoming a nurse. They say that you just have to walk out with your ABSN and you're going to be able to do whatever you want. And that's somewhat true. But if you want to do something other than med-surg, I really, really, really encourage you to take ownership in general, no matter who you are or what you want to do, of your career, right? Pick your professor's brains. They're all incredible. They're super, super, super willing to talk to you and give you their wisdom and help you navigate the career that you're going into. I encourage you to be bold and ask questions and ask the different nurses you follow in clinical. If there's an opportunity in clinical to do something, make sure you take initiative. Nobody's going to say oh, there's a wound care nurse here. Do you want to go follow? If you see the wound care nurse, tell your nurse, hey, I really want to see this nurse do this. Ask the nurse, hey, can I go with you? You have to take initiative, right? So it's kind of about owning your career because nobody else is going to do that for you. And that with that same breath, I think that your Christmas break is going to be really important. If you kind of got a feel for where you want to go, I would say See if you can shadow at a local, if you want to stay in the area, or if you want to go to Nashville or Atlanta or wherever you want to go and shadow at a department. So if you want to be in the ICU, or if you want to be in OB or peds, whatever that looks like, take the time to go and shadow. You can do that at Memorial, Erlanger, or wherever in the area, and take the time to really make connections with those managers, so when it comes time to apply, you have a chance to go and you already have that connection, and it's not going to be going from, I've never met you before, trying to get a job. So take ownership with what you want to do, and don't just think it'll be handed to you just because you graduated from a really incredible nursing school and you have a degree now, right? That might work out, it might not, but I encourage you not to gamble with that. So make sure you plan in advance. You're going to feel really overwhelmed. That's natural. This program's a lot. But ultimately, I encourage you to kind of pre-plan as far as don't let the fatigue and the overwhelm kind of take over your brain, and then you're in a tough spot at the end, okay? I don't want to freak you out. That's not what I'm supposed to, not what I'm trying to do. Y'all are looking at me like, oh no. But just because we're there now, right? We're at the end, and I'm seeing like, okay, just be strategic, okay? That's all I'm saying, is don't rest on your laurels, as my English teacher used to say. Be proactive. Really work with your professors. They're super, like they're the best. I have a couple degrees now, and I've never had professors who wanted to invest in my well-being more than these have. And so I encourage you to do that. They really care. They really do, even if they're hard on you. It's because they see the potential. So make sure you take the time to do that. And in closing, just make sure you care about each other, right? Make sure you invest in one another, and be kind. Forgive one another. You're going to be around each other a lot. Somebody's going to say something to make somebody else mad. Have thick skin. Don't take it personal. That's in the clinic and not. And be kind, and really just work on your relationships, and it'll be a really special time. It'll be over before you know it. So you got this.
But you didn't put the step back. Sorry. It's okay. Back up on my toes. One of the things that Caitlin said was about, the stress of the program and that kind of thing, and checking in on each other. And all the faculty do this, but whenever I see you all sitting out on the whatever that, it's not the front porch, but it's where those seats are, and you're sitting there studying, I always check in with whoever's sitting there and say, how's it going? And this particular cohort, they were in their second semester, and I stopped by and I said, so how's it going? And they said, wow, we're doing okay. And one of them said, it was, kind of like drinking out of a fire hose. And I get that. You do get something, but you get splashed a lot. And I said, well, how's everybody doing? And one of the students said, well, we're pulling each other along. And I said, okay. And she said, because I feel like if we lose anybody out of the cohort, we will lose our base. And that was just what Caitlin was, and it actually was her cohort. That's what they're talking about. Everybody supports everybody else. And I think that's the one unique thing about you all. There's 16 of you. There's not 40 like there is in the traditional program. You all are moving at a faster pace than they are. So please do as Caitlin said, and that's to rely on each other. And it doesn't have to be your core group that you automatically, kind of move towards. Rely on everybody. The other 15 in your cohort, rely on each other, because there's if someone's having some issues with study skills, maybe somebody already's had that challenge and they know how to help you out. So please rely on each other. But again, don't forget to rely on the faculty. And I told you this, I believe, in your orientation. My office is up on the 3rd floor in the corner, and I am Switzerland, okay? I'm not teaching you directly. I'm not grade responsible. I will listen to you if there's some concerns one way or the other. I might tell you something you don't really want to hear, but I'll tell you honestly. So you can approach any of your faculty, but if you really feel like you need an outside perspective, please feel free to stop in and see me, because I'm going to have an honest conversation with you and let you know how we can deal with whatever issues you may be facing. It is a challenging program, and I liken it to, the graduate program, where it's kind of a higher level. It's not that you're learning higher level content, you're learning it in a more compressed manner, faster, not less. I mean, you're learning the same amount as the traditional students. So there's a little bit more stress associated with that. So please make sure you take care of yourselves. Make sure you have a mental health day every once in a while when you need to take one. Speak to your faculty if there is something going on in your life. We don't want to be in the middle of your business unless you need us to be. But talk to us, because we've all been there. We've been through nursing programs, and some of these people have been through an accelerated program as well. So we understand what it is, so please rely on us. And I know we've told you all this before, but you chose this program. It's a lot of credit hours. It's going to be really fast and furious, but you can do it, because Caitlin's cohort is proof that it can be done. And they're all making it. Everybody's being successful. Now, did her cohort need some support along the way? Yeah, of course they did. They relied on each other, but they also relied on the faculty. So she gave you some really, really great advice. So I just wanted to make sure that that was kind of settled in your brain. So let's get to the important part of the program. Not that Caitlin was not important. She probably said the most profound things you're going to hear this entire afternoon. But we're going to recognize each of you by presenting you with your lab coat, and Dr. Jason Peter, the Accelerated Bachelor of Science in Nursing Coordinator, will read your names, so please come forward.
Olivia Brown. Kayla Burns. Tess Cherian. Scott Condry. Marley Cowart. Mary Fraze Sheldon. Olivia Friedel. Kylie Harper. Lindsay Locke. Adeline Malika. Joseph Newton. Angie Plata. Marissa Ruster. Carrig Sanders. Alexia Snow. Please join me in congratulating them as they begin nursing school.
Okay, I would like all of you to stand up, please, just the students, just the students. I'd like you to turn around and face the back, face your families. Do you all notice anything about these individuals other than the fact that they now have a white coat on? We notice it sitting in the front of them. It's almost as if we have flipped a switch on them and they now understand and embracing the role that they are about to take on. It's interesting how just such a simple ceremony can really start this wonderful transformation. And so we are so excited to have each and every one of these in our program here at UTC. Now I'd ask you to turn around. And I am going to ask you, along with our faculty, to recite with me the International Council of Nurses Pledge found on the back of your program. And reciting this demonstrates your willingness to uphold the pledge and to fulfill it as you begin your journey through nursing school. So faculty, please stand. And Kayla. Okay, everybody ready? In the full knowledge of the obligation I am undertaking, I promise to care for the sick with all the understanding I possess, without regard to race, creed, color, politics, or social status, sparing no effort to conserve life, to alleviate suffering, and to promote health. I will respect at all times the dignity and religious beliefs of the patients under my care, holding in confidence all personal information entrusted to me and refraining from any action which might endanger life or health. I will endeavor to keep my professional knowledge and skill at the highest level and to give support and cooperation to all members of the healthcare team. I will do my utmost to honor the International Code of Ethics applied to nursing and to uphold the integrity of the nurse. These students have pledged and the faculty have reaffirmed that they will care for the vulnerable people they encounter each day as they work towards providing compassionate and competent care. This concludes our white coat ceremony, and on behalf of the UTC School of Nursing, the faculty, staff, and the executive leadership team, thank you for attending. And I believe we need this group to come forward for a picture. Is that correct? Or have you all done that?
We have done that, but we can.
Nope. If you've done it, we're just going to let them with their white coats on. So go for